Welcome to Pegboard Workshop. Today I want to give you just a real quick tip and a short video on how to use the pegboard in your shop when you don't have the peg hooks. You got to use a little bit different method that I came up with today, and I want to show you how I did it in this quick tip. So let's get started. Now to make this work, I have some 3-inch long 1/4 20 bolts that I'm going to be using, and I want to be able to lay out where these tools will go, and I want to put them fairly close together. So that's going to be one hole and that's going to be the other one. So I'm going to kind of mark that spot, tip it up, and just thread that through. And then I'll put this one on. And the great thing about this, I can drop on the washers, screw on the nuts, and that will make a very good anchor point. Don't want that one. And what I'm using, I just have a collection of all of my 1/4 20 in just one bucket. And I'm just sorting through and pulling out items that I can actually use out of it. But this is a good workaround. When you don't have the peg hooks that you need, this is a good workaround to be able to still make it work. I'm going to grab a wrench so I can tighten this down, and I'm going to lay out other tools that I want onto this pegboard, and then we're going to hang it. Go ahead and drop in another couple of washers, get some more nuts, and I'm going to continue this and I'll show you when I'm done. I grabbed a 7/16 inch wrench for these 1/4 20, and that just allows me to tighten them up. The holes in the pegboard are typically a 1/4 inch in diameter, so these 1/4 20 bolts actually work extremely well. They're just a little bit snug, and that's really what you want. And that holds very sturdy. And see, I'll be able to put the 2 hammers on there easily, and that will hang just right. And now I got to find the other tools that I want to put on here. And this is a pegboard that I had in the shop quite some time ago, and I had replaced it with other things, and it's time for it to go back up. Now the bolts that I'm using actually screw in to this pegboard, and only in a few cases where the pegboard holes have enlarged over the years does the screw actually slip in. But these also have large heads on them, and I could use washers as well, but at least at this point I'm not putting washers on the back side. I'm only putting a washer on the front side where the nut's going. But this is proving to hold extremely well, and I'm happy the way it's turning out. Now you can see I've actually run out of my 3-inch bolts, but I have some 1.5-inch that will work just fine for the other tools that I want to put on there. But again, this project is costing me absolutely nothing. I'm just using odds and ends scraps that I have around the shop in my catch-all 1/4 20 bucket. Now this mounts flush to the wall, and I have my French cleat right here that's attached to the top, and it's screwed through the pegboard to be able to hold it in place. So the weight is actually transferred to this member and then to the corresponding part that will go onto the wall. That will slip right in there to be able to hold it. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on the wall and get this mounted. Off camera, I measured where I need to have the French cleat, so now I'm taking a level and giving a good straight line exactly where I'm going to attach this to the wall. Now, because of the weight that I have on this pegboard, it's very important to be able to find the studs. And the good thing is I can easily find, and I know exactly where they are. And I'm transferring that information right up to the line that I had just placed onto the wall. Now I went ahead and placed a plumb line with my level so that I know exactly where the studs are. And granted, I could have used just a tape measure, and 16 inches on center would have done it. But the other thing that I'm doing at this point is making the mark exactly where I want that. And it's just barely long enough. Now this space is not that much larger than the space that I actually need. So I had to be pretty exact with everything, or this thing would not have fit on the wall. Now, the next thing that I'm doing is just pre-drilling the cleat, and then I'm going to attach it to the wall. And I'm just using a couple of 1 5/8 inch long drywall screws to be able to attach this to the wall. That will be plenty strong enough to hold this. With the cleat attached to the wall, it's just a matter of dropping this pegboard into position. And because of the length of the board, there's really not a much movement that I can make left and right. And that was really by design. This is just about centered between this space that I have. And I wanted to have this fairly low because this is a tight corner in the shop and I don't have a lot of extra room. But now that it's mounted to the wall, I can go ahead and put the tools on it and finish this project. And with everything on it, I still have a little bit of room for some future expansion that I can add a few more tools. Who knows? Things are constantly changing in my shop. I have several of these pegboard boards that I use in my shop, and quite frankly, it's rather rare that I actually use the peg hooks. These two boards were actually made with the OSB rather than the peg hooks, and they've actually worked out really well also. I can put tools anywhere on this. Hi everyone, thank you for watching my video today. If you like the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell next to it so you'll be notified on the different videos that I upload. Also check out the videos over here to be able to stay up to date on the happenings in my shop. So again, thank you for watching my videos.